Hey guys, welcome back. driftinsti here, and today I'll be doing a review on Magpul's newest addition to their stock lineup. In this case is the new Magpul STR stock. Now this STR stock, what's unique about it is that it gives you the best of both worlds. It's got the locking mechanism, just like on the CTR stock, as well as the battery compartments from the crane stock. Basically, it is the best of both worlds. You get the ergonomics and the modularity, I guess you could say, of the crane stock and the CTR stock. And Magpul's products, for a number of years now, has been nothing short of exceptional. And in my opinion, this is another one of those pieces. The STR stock features, of course, the locking mech, as said before, and the battery compartment, which can be accessed by removing these rubber tabs on either side of the stock. Now, these battery compartments can fit AAA batteries, AA batteries, even CR123 batteries. A lot of people have been wondering, they have also been commenting on my other video of the ACS stock, and they were asking if this stock can accommodate an airsoft battery, and unfortunately the answer to that is no. Just because of the way it's designed and the size of the battery tube, it just cannot take an airsoft battery. The only way to do it would be to stuff a LiPo battery into your buffer tube of the gun. I know that kind of also brings up some other issues, like in terms of how I guess reliable your gearbox is and the longevity of the gearbox, but that is basically the only solution if you do want to use a stock such as the STR or the CTR. Another really cool feature about the STR stock is that it has the QD sling attachment point on the rear, just like the CTR. But the only difference is that the CTR can accept the QD sling attachment on both sides of the stock without any changes or without the use of any tools, whereas the STR requires you to remove a screw inside the QD sling attachment and attach it to the other side. And it's a little bit more, it requires a little bit more work, but in my opinion, it really isn't a problem for me because I like to run an ASAP plate. I just find that running a QD sling point at the back of the stock is just a bit, your rifle hangs too low when you just have it slung on your person. So, and how I like it is I like the stock to be near my shoulder when the rifle is slung, and in this case the QD sling attachment on the stock does not provide that sort of I guess comfortability for me, so which is why I usually use ASAP plates. Now, as you can see though, I mean the stock is very similar to the CTR stock. In terms of weight, this particular model here is a little bit heavier, just very slightly. I forgot what the weight was, but the STR is a bit lighter. Lightest of all right now. This is an airsoft crane stock, so it is the lightest out of the three. And the only difference between the crane stock and these other two is that it allows you to take a battery in the battery compartments. So this one is made to hold a airsoft battery. This particular model is the model from VFC, and VFC also makes some really exceptional products, and so you should really check them out as well. My only gripe for this stock is that it's not as ergonomic as the CTR or the STR, and it also doesn't have the sling attachment on the rear. I know I don't use it personally, but just the lack of that is just one less feature on the stock that's on these other two. So if you're a person that really likes the QD sling points on the rear, then you might not like this stock. Of course, there are other models out there with other crane stock models out there with the QD sling attachment, but I believe this one is based off of an older model, so that's why it doesn't have the QD attachment there. So, but in terms of advantages, this one does let you get to the battery easier. It even attaches to your gun much easier. For example, if you have a stock on here, you slide it on, and then all you gotta do is pull this tab down, and your stock's installed. And that's one of the disadvantages to the Magpul style stocks. It's because that you are required to use a separate tool to install the stocks. Luckily for me, for the VFC buffer tubes, this portion of the stock tube right there is not as extended out or protrudes out as much as other buffer tubes, and it allows me to slide a CTR stock onto the gun without any tools. And it requires a little bit of force to pull out. So when you do, like if you want to extend the stock out to the furthest position, you're still able to do that without pulling your stock off, which is pretty unique. I'm sure it wasn't designed that way, but it's a really nice feature for this type of stock. So because you can easily attach, take out, and install a battery on the field just that quick. So very, very interesting. It doesn't do that with other styles of buffer tubes either, so I've only found this to be on the VFC style buffer tubes. So actually quite advantageous as well. Now, if you do find that the butt plate on this STR stock is a bit too short for your liking, you can also install Magpul's extended enhanced butt pad, which adds an extra 0.7 of an inch on your stock. And it's also softer too, so if you are running your gun on your shoulder for long periods of time, you're not going to feel that stock digging into your shoulder as much. So that's also one of the good features about Magpul, is that they really offer a lot of options and accessories for your stocks to make it accommodate your preferences. Now, let's go back to the STR stock here. Right now I'm currently using the stock for the Sistema PCW, and unfortunately for me, it does not have the same feature that the VFC buffer tube allows me to do. It doesn't let me slide the stock on without any tools. I mean, I do put a LiPo battery in the buffer tube, and it does fit. However, putting on the stock is just a bit more troublesome than others. With the crane stock, I can just slide it on and pull the tab down and slide it on with no problems. But with this, I need to bring some sort of tool with me, such as a screwdriver, and install it, which I will show you right now. First thing I'll do is depress the button here. Zoom in here if you guys can see. So I depress the button, and there's a small hole in there, and basically you take your screwdriver in there, pull it up, and your stock should slide on just like that. I haven't tried disassembling the back yet, but I guess I can show you guys and I can also take a look myself to see if there's any way for me to access the battery compartment. So let's get to that. First, I'm going to need an Allen screw. one works. Let's see here. So first thing I'm going to do is remove these two Allen screws at the back of the butt plate. Okay, that's also still too big. Too small now. Okay, so I don't have the right Allen screw for this, unfortunately. Actually, I do have another tool. I apologize for this. I'll cut this out so you guys don't have to watch me fumble with this stuff. But, okay. Okay, back to disassembly. Looks like the perfect tool for this would be a 5.5. Well, that's what it says on here on my tool, so I'm gonna disassemble this, so you guys can see. I'm gonna disassemble this stock here, and we'll see what happens. Both screws out, and we will set this aside. I gotta pull the two tabs out. Pull two tabs out, and these locks inside the stock. So I have to press it out with a. And yes, I can. I can actually access the. I can actually access the battery compartment at the rear without taking out the stock, which is a good thing, a very good thing actually. My particular buffer tube for the Sistema has this cap on the back, so I can place it on. It is waterproof, so it prevents any water from getting into the battery and screwing up the electronics. But of course, I won't be using a Sistema PTW in the rain anyways, because I don't want to short any of the electronics, because they are quite expensive. But yeah, I guess we figured something out. It does work. If you want to access your battery compartment, you can remove the butt plate at the back and have easier access to the battery compartment in your gun. Very interesting. Let me install the stuff back here. Reinstall the rubbers on the stock. And there we go. Okay, so overall, this stock actually is probably my favorite, one of my favorite stocks now, probably even better than the CTR. Unfortunately though, there are like some disadvantages to it. I mean, if you are using a face mask or anything, you might find a little bit of problems with the with the eye relief. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem with the 416 because it does have a higher 12 o'clock rail on the gun, higher profile, so all your sights and stuff, they sit higher. So if you are wearing a mesh mask or some paintball mask, it's not gonna be too much trouble compared to when you have your crane stock or STR stock on an M4 type rifle. So overall, I'd really recommend you guys to go pick this up. I'll send you guys a link to where I purchased this off of from. There are replicas out there, so if you do want a cheaper one, that is also a really good option. Or if you can't get access to real Magpul products, then I guess you could also find one somewhere on some website. I originally purchased the stock just to experiment, to see what it would feel like and what it would look like on my 416. Since the 416 was my newest build, I was caught between a CTR and a crane stock, and I think I've come to the conclusion that the STR is a really good compromise between the two. I mean, it's basically two of the stocks pretty much meshed together, and you get the STR. So, really like it. It's definitely not as long though as the crane stock. It's as short as the CTR and as light as the CTR, although it is a little bit heavier. But you also get the Magpul accessories that fit the STR. So there are a little bit more options for you if you end up getting the STR stock. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and wish you guys a Merry Christmas out there. Stay safe, and like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.